Teddy is going crazy. Thank you for joining
Nice
us.
to
I
see
really
you.
appreciate it. Good to see you too, my friend. So Teddy is going crazy. So we're gonna, before we even get more in the food, because we're gonna describe all this again in a second. You need some wine, seriously, because
Yeah, that would be nice.
So
Of course.
I got this earlier. So this is the Kentucky Derbies this weekend. You know
nice.
that?
I did know
so
that.
This is a blend. I picked this up at Gasparo's, Sandy Gasparo kind of thing, but you got to try this. It's actually really, really
Sure.
good. I'm gonna finish this one. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
So, we're going to go straight to the news on this because this is why he's going crazy, and I appreciate him making the time. Is that earlier when we were speaking on the phone, he was, I don't know what you call it, up to here with contractors dealing with some
It
things.
was a little further up.
A little further up than
It's
that?
a little further up.
So, let's talk about what you have going on before we get into this because the burger theme is obvious. We're not going to have a problem with that. But you have not one, two new locations.
We have two current open Harry's locations. Currently working on our third in Lincoln. And yesterday we were at our fourth location in Newport on Thames Street. So things are moving quickly.
So where's the one in Lincoln? Because I'm actually very happy about that because I live in Lincoln. So.
It's on 200 Front Street
Yep.
in the Lincoln Shopping Center.
Oh, yeah,
Yep,
okay.
Right, kind of right in the middle of near Lincoln,
Yeah.
Cumberland, Central Falls.
Yeah, everybody can be doing 5 minutes.
Everybody can be there 5 minutes.
So when is that one spec to open?
We plan to open next week.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder he's up to here. So
Up
that's
there.
So that's the Lincoln one. And then Newport, which I have to tell you, I have a ton of friends that live in Newport.
Yep.
And the location that you're taking over, so I want to A, talk about that. People are excited that you're coming in there. And B, this style of place, which is another thing I absolutely want to make sure we connect on because your style of service and how this is done, how you're showing it here, is something to definitely educate people on. So
Sure.
talk about the Newport location first
Okay.
of all.
We're at 464 Thames Street in Newport. We should be open by the first week of June.
Nice. So in time for the summer.
Time for the summer. Can't
Right.
miss the season. We're taking over a great space. It's the old Tallulah's.
So that's what a lot of people are excited about. Something to go in that space.
Jake and Kelly, they're great people, and they approached us, and kind of just everything kind of fell in line.
Excellent. But that's a quick turnaround for both those locations. And that's why you're going so crazy.
That is one of the reasons why we've been in Lincoln for 5 weeks. That took a little bit more work.
Okay.
The Newport location was ready to go. I mean, they had a great space to begin with.
Right. They did. Yep.
Plus we're trying to make the season.
So to get into both those spots, and I know the Harry's on the Hill has a very decent seating capacity.
Yep.
Are the same style, same?
Very similar.
Okay.
Somewhere around 75 each place. Similar bar sizes, 12 stools.
Nice. So in getting into this and talking about the art of burger,
Sure.
You're not like anybody else where I have to ask, okay, why did you put a burger on the menu? You're all about burgers.
All about burgers.
So let's go through this one more time.
Sure.
So what do we got over here?
This is the mother of all burgers.
See that? Tony's going to be in that later. The mother of all burgers.
Yep.
Okay. And what is on the mother of all burgers?
We have cheese, we have bacon, we have these onion strings, special sauce pickle as usual, lettuce. We have our classic cheese, some onion rings spilled over.
That's all right.
This is Harry's Classic with cheese, American cheese.
American cheese. Okay.
Yep.
And then this was the mother of
That is the haystack onion rings.
haystack onion rings.
Mhm.
And this was the
Onion
dirty.
strings. This is the sloppy Harry fries, chili cheese
Oh my God,
jalapenos.
look at that.
You feel the weight on that?
Yeah, that's heavy as hell.
It's a meal in itself.
Oh my God. And then back here in the back we got
We have our pastrami burger,
pastrami.
black label pastrami.
Look at that.
2 ounces per order, and the Harry's Classic cheese with that.
So
This is one of our. These are the two of our most popular
ones,
burgers. Yep.
I've had that one, and I've had that one as well. So where did this come from? Like, where did the concept for Harry's come from?
Well, long story short, I'll make it somewhat long. So, in 2010, we were doing research. We wanted to do burgers.
Yeah.
And we were testing all different kinds of beef. We must have tried 20, 30 different beef blends. Herefords, certified Angus, different blends, 20, 80, 20, the lean fat to
Yep.
okay ratio.
Which you can kind of buy in the grocery store, but
You can buy in a grocery store.
Yeah.
And every time we did a taste test with ourselves, with friends and family, guests, we kept coming back to these sliders, kept coming back to the Hereford. It always kept winning. We were trying not to let the sliders win. And It
That
just
didn't work
it
out that
just
well.
kept happening. Everybody kept choosing them. We tried all different types of buns. We have the Martin's potato buns.
Yep. Which I love.
And they're
That's what I buy on.
delicious. We
Yep.
get them in 3 times a week. So every other day we're getting a delivery.
So every burger is the Hereford.
Every burger is Hereford.
Okay.
Um,
So this
and we just kept landing on the slider. And we named it Harry's because Harry was working at a Michelin star restaurant out in California.
Okay.
He had left the nest for a few years. He was bartending and a sommelier and the mixologist for this Michelin star restaurant.
I didn't know Harry was a sommelier.
Close enough.
Wow,
he, didn't
that's
take
awesome.
he didn't take all the tests,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
you know,
but he
you
knows
grow
his
up
wine.
with wine. You grow up, with John
That's
Elkay.
fantastic.
You learn
So
wine.
Harry is John's son.
Harry Elkay is John's son, named
Yep.
after his son, and we named it Harry simply to bring him back to Rhode Island.
And it worked.
And it worked.
So then,
And craft beer was a thing there, and so it just happened in 2010. That's when the craft beer craze was coming on.
so the first Harry's was down here, right?
North Main Street.
North Main
Yep,
Street,
we
okay.
call that the OG.
Okay, so that was the first Harry's, and then the Hill was the second one,
Hill was the second one.
and then we got the 3 and 4 coming on. So here's an
3
interesting.
and 4 very quickly.
So I deal with Teddy because of my representation of Federal Hill. I love John, known Teddy before that, but that's where I have to deal with him a lot. So I bug him on a lot of things for Federal Hill, and I'm nice enough that I get
He
a
doesn't
text.
bug me.
I get a text back, so it's good. I know that I'm all right. But that's a unique thing. So to come to Federal Hill and take over a spot, and you went into
Yeah.
a spot that had a few
Yeah,
different
several
places that got in there.
restaurants. Well, we've always loved Federal Hill. We were looking to get onto Federal Hill for many years.
Okay.
An opportunity came up with the landlord, Mr. Conti.
Yep.
Called us, said, "Hey, we got the space." We saw it, and we just love the space. Great spot across from Tony's.
Yep.
It
No,
just
the location's perfect. You're right on the
great
corner there.
neighborhood there. And we've always wanted to get up there, and it was a great opportunity.
So were there challenges originally coming up to opening Federal Hill? Did people automatically accept the concept of a burger place coming onto Federal Hill?
Well, I think, we walked around, we talked to all the neighbors first, introduced ourselves. Luckily, we're good neighbors in our own neighborhoods. So that helped. We knew some people up there also for many years. Chris Tarrow,
Right.
John Lombardi.
So the concept just kind of started on its own?
It kind of started on its own, by popular demand. We
Because-
needed to open a second spot.
Because over here, you're getting a very mixed clientele. It's from
Yeah.
college kids up to the neighborhood people that live there, up
Yeah.
to tourists. And one of the things that we always talk about in Federal Hill is that it's very tourism driven.
And all industry people because
Right.
we serve food late.
Right.
CNN,
How late do you
CNN
serve?
best burger in the world, Travel and Leisure best burger and the best burger town in the world. We hospitality industry comes here because we serve late. We serve these
How late
burgers
is late? How late are you up
till 1.
till 1 o'clock?
Till 1
So the
o'clock.
burgers are served right till 1.
12 on the weekdays, 1 on the weekends.
So that's phenomenal. Another thing we're talking about. is
Yep.
that-
7 days a week, lunch and dinner.
That's awesome. And that's another thing. Up on the hill, there's not a lot of places that are
Not a lot of places open
for
for lunch.
lunch. That's a really big
Yep.
thing. You guys also had the seating that you have outside that you start to put out there right now.
Yep.
And then from that perspective, one of the things that I have to say that I've noticed is that you guys are consistently busy. It seems like it almost and I think this happened on the east side for you too, in my opinion, is that you
Thank you
almost
for the
become
glass of wine, by the way.
Of course, I know you need it. You almost become a destination. So you become a destination in the locations that you've opened because for Federal Hill to have as many of the Italian restaurants as it does, people are coming to you. I mean, there's literally, I hate to say this for some of my colleagues up there, but there are literally times where I'll go by Harry's and you're packed and everybody else is just starting to get busy.
Well, I think we fit a neat niche as you were getting into in the beginning.
Yeah.
The way we package our casualness of our service. We expect very high service, but we're just ourselves,
Right.
and we're just we like for the snowstorms. The managers were calling me. They wanted
So
to
they
open.
went, I know.
The managers wanted to open.
You and I were talking
so-
via text. Should I say you were closed on the hill? Are you open? And they came in.
And we had all these neighborhood people in there that are our regulars that came down and hung out with us in the snowstorm, and that's why we're there. We're there for the neighborhood, and for the locals.
So is this concept that you've created? I mean, literally, in a matter of 4 weeks, you're going to have 2 new places in
Correct.
a matter of a month. And his eyes are like feeling it. I can see it. But is the idea behind this to keep growing the brand, or do these two kind of things just happen by
we
happenstance?
were always looking at Newport or South County, and we were really trying to look into northern Rhode Island.
Okay.
We were looking at many spaces. We were looking ever since we put in Atwell's. We were looking at spaces.
Okay.
And it just timing is everything. Sometimes
The
people
great
aren't,
locations came up, yeah.
it just
So is
And
the
it just kind of happened. You know,
Right.
there was a 50-50 shot both of these things would have happened at the same time, and
and it did.
it did. You know, and we take gambles.
So is the idea to potentially have a fifth, the sixth location? Is that in the wind?
Of course, you know, 5-year plan, absolutely.
Nice.
You know, right now I'm very short-sighted. I only see the next 5 weeks in front of me. You know,
Would this be something that goes past Rhode Island?
we've talked about it. We've got to do what we're doing now first, and you know.
So when it goes past Rhode Island, he's going to come on here and he's going to tell us about it first before. it
That's
goes
right,
anywhere.
that's right.
He'll come here and he'll tell me about it first. So I seriously, I mean, both to you and John, I have to congratulate you both. I mean, John has been a wizard in and of himself in the restaurant community, and yourself joining him. But you got to talk about this title. So
Sure.
Teddy has this awesome title. So it's Chow Fun Food Group, and it's got all these great restaurants that they have under him. It says President and Jedi Master
Correct.
on your title. So you've got to
Right.
explain the Jedi Master to everybody.
You know, I'm a Star Wars guy. You know, I grew up with
Me
it.
too, yeah.
You know, it's just I have the sheets, the original sheets from '78. My wife won't let me use them, so they're in a nice little case in the basement. But when Harry came back, he put on his. We always like to have these nicknames on our business cards.
Right?
So Harry, you know, he's a Star Wars fan as well. He puts on Jedi Knight. I see it, the proof come through my desk. I'm like, well, if he's a Jedi Knight, I gotta be a Jedi Master. You know, if he's Obi-Wan, I've gotta be Yoda. You know,
So Harry coming back instituted this.
well, it started it,
It started
for sure.
it.
And our nickname for Harry's on the Hill is Hoth.
Hoth?
You know,
Oh my God, that's
Hoth,
hilarious.
the planet Hoth from
Planet
Empire
Hoth,
Strikes
yep.
Back. You know,
I love that.
So-
What do we call the other one? Anything?
that's the OG,
The OG, okay.
original gangster.
The original gangster and then the Hoth. Well, I appreciate you taking the time.
Of course.
I know that this was craziness for you to cut out of.
No, it was my pleasure. I called you in a panic today.
No worries. And I'm happy that you made it in, because this is something, and talking about the art of burger, you can't get any more artistic than the style of things that you're seeing here, and comfort. I mean, and truthfully, when you go in, I think that this is one of the reasons why I was mentioning that your places tend to get busier earlier and they stay busy, is that it's a very comfortable spot.
And we're open.
It's a
People
very
come in
comfortable
11 if we're still working. Hey, come on in. It's
Right.
fine.
Right.
You know.
Well, this was amazing. So,
Good.
one last question.
Sure.
Before I let you go, and I know you got a lot to do. Out of all
Right
this,
now, this is all I have to do.
and I appreciate that. So, from your perspective, not asking from the chef or the people in the kitchen or anything, what would be the top 2 things if people haven't been in, or even if they have,
Sure.
from your personal preference that you would recommend?
That I would recommend.
That you would recommend.
First is the Harry's Classic with cheese is delicious. My son loves the pastrami, but I love the Harry's Classic with cheese. It's just, I love a cheeseburger, and it just melts in my mouth.
Yep.
And then I always get the sloppy Harry fries. It's just, that's what I always get.
That is an amazing thing in and of itself. There.
It's delicious. We make the chili homemade, you know, and it's just delicious.
So it's needless to say, and I have to tell you, I have to add just this one last point before we go on, is that it looks like you wouldn't fill up if you're eating these. It's so untrue. I've sat there and 2 is about all I've can finish. My son, who's going with me,
You can't add a third to make
yes.
it a threesome.
So I was just gonna say, my son always gets 3. He's like, Dad, 2's not enough for me, and my son always gets 3.
And
so
7 days a week, 3 to 5, half price all burgers every day.
every day.
Every day, 3 to 5, half price burgers.
Okay, so now you heard it. There's no reason to not go check out the Art of Burger at Harry's. Thank you for joining. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.